Hello again, everyone. I'm Tom Dirato. Welcome once again to the Bob Simmons Show. Oklahoma State journeyed to Waco, Texas this past weekend. The Cowboys scored early and often as they routed Baylor 34-14, and as usual, we'll have all the highlights for you. On this week's 2-minute drill, we're going to take you inside the Cowboy locker room and let you hear from some of the players, introduce you to a future broadcaster, and give you a look at the Baylor win that you will only get right here on the Bob Simmons Show. Bryan, Blackwood, and Juqua will also join us on our Get to Know the Cowboys segment. We have all this and a lot more coming up, so you stay with us. We're back after this opening timeout.
The Bob Simmons.
Well, welcome back to the show. Bob, we talked about it on the post-game radio show. This team went down there focused and methodically, kind of workmanlike, took Baylor apart.
Well, they did, Tom. The one thing we had talked about all week was really staying focused, not taking this Baylor team lightly. And it was good to see both sides of the ball. The defense came out and did a good job. We had the ball offensively the first series. I thought we did a good job of taking the ball down the field. So for the most part, that first half, we were really focused on it.
That was a great blend in the first half. And I know people maybe get tired of hearing us say this, but you talk about offense, defense, special teams. It all was cooking in that first half.
Well, a combination of both. We had been pretty good on special team all year, and we thought that we would have the edge going in. Here you can see that we kick off the J, and he gives us pretty good field position. I think we started at about the 26-yard line, and we come out and call his number, and he responds with a 17-yard run. You know, had we got a crack on that play, it would have been a little bit more. And then we come back with another outside play with Nathan for about 7 yards off tackle. Then we come back again with a very similar play. He picks up 10 yards this time, but we thought that we could run on their defense. You can see we go back inside with a fullback, 3rd and 6. You know, 3rd down was a key down for us, and this is a nice throw by Tony. I really thought that he played a good game. Howell makes a good catch. He goes back over the top almost for a home run, a little bit late on that throw, but we get into a 3rd down situation called a screen. They were in man coverage. They had a good defense call. Sitters came in and kicked it. I think it was a 46-yarder. So we got points on the board. First drive, 3 points. Defense go back on the field. And they were completely dominant the whole ball game.
Man.
I thought they did a nice job of knowing what they were going to do, the plays that were called, giving a lot of pressure, and really keeping them off rhythm all ball game. And they forced a punt here. Early in the ball game, Terance tried to make some things happen, but they were kicking away from him. Again, he's a guy that now he should have let that ball go because it went inside the 10-yard line. So we don't have good field position, but we come back out and we call a sweep for about 4 or 5. Tony throws his ball on rhythm to Ethan Howell, and he picks up the first down. We get back and we call Tony's number, and it's a good call, and he picks up about another 10 to 12 yards. So you can see, Tom, we're consistently moving the ball. Nice play calling. This is Jay. Jay picks up another 7 or 8 yards, and we're in the rhythm. Then we go back inside to our fullback. I think it was Hafferty. He picks up another 7. And so there's a nice field going on. Kevin Brown comes back, picks up another 5. We'll go a play action pass here to Howell, nice catch. That was a first down call that gives us 2nd and 2, keep us on rhythm. Watch this play on film. I thought Tony was going to pitch it, but what we're doing now is going same call with him. Didn't get much. We called an outside pass play, sort of overthrows this ball to I think that was Cameron White. Forces into a punting situation. We kick it in. They start on the 20. Defensively, again, come up with a turnover. I think that's J.B. Flowers.
That's right.
Gave us great field position. Start right off, start on about the 25-yard line. We go inside to Marcellus. It's a nice throw and catch. And go back inside to a fullback. If Kevin wasn't leaning so far forward, he's gonna score here. Needs to pick his feet up, regain his balance instead of crawling on the ground. But we'll take it. Nice job, 3rd and 1. Give the ball back to him. He's running very aggressive, very hard. You see there are OSU fans travel.
There were a bunch of them.
A bunch of them very much in the ball game. We go back in with an outside run to Nathan for the score. And that puts us up to 10-0. And, the first 2 series, rather 3rd series, 10 points. Everything is really on time. You can see our defense is back on the field and not giving them much time, swarming the quarterback. We get a holding call there. We turn it down. We're all around their receivers. You see him force a bad throw, 3 and out. I think they were 0 for 9, and in third downs. We forced a punt here to Terance, and you can see they didn't want him to catch the ball. That was a halo violation.
I don't blame him.
But Marcellus has got to hold on to that. They tried to strip him. 3rd and 1, go back inside to a fullback, pick up a first down, 1st and 10. We spread him out a little bit. This is a nice throw by Tony. That's actually a fumble. We're in the right place at the right time. The ball bounced our way that day and come back inside with the draw. I thought Jay was going to score here. One more step, and he's in the end zone. But we go back inside to Jay here, and we get tackled on the 2, outside sweep. I think, he was looking to run rather than catch that ball.
What's the explanation given to you here? They throw it and then they pick it up.
What they told me is that it was uncatchable. I said, well, do you know that young man? He said, no. I said, then that was catchable to give him a chance.
Yeah.
But that was a judgment call based on the official, and with 13 to 10, and defense come back up, and you can see they don't really have that much success moving the ball. And this is Mr. Thomas, and he forces a bad throw there. He had a pretty good day. You see him here again for another sack.
This is a good series right here for JT, huh?
Yeah, JT had a nice sack, forced a punt here. They punt it down. Now they punt it to him, and he tries to get inside out, and they do a good job of covering that. We go back inside to Nathan for about 3-4 yards here. We got great field position, so we got to get some points on the board here. We bounce outside, inside for another about 3 or 4 yards. Go back inside for fullback for 2. 4th and 1. We call a little play action on this 4th and 1. Tony does a nice job of finding Kerry Jackson. Nice pass, and thought he was going to score here, but they say he stepped out. We're on the 2-yard line, and we motion Nathan out.
How about spreading
Spread
it
him out a
all
little
over
bit
the
on
place?
the goal line and give it to our fullback for an easy touchdown.
That's almost not fair to do that.
That's what people do to us sometimes. But at this point, it's 20-0, 2nd quarter. And pretty much everything is going our way for the most part here. And you can see that really everything they do, our defense is around them. They thought the option was the answer. They came out and run. He trips, and they run the quarterback counter, which a lot of teams are running. We got people around the ball here. And now what they do is they punt to, I think this is the punt return.
That is right.
They punt to Terance. He picks up some key blocks along the way. He gets to that wall here, and now it's just a foot race to the end zone. And as you can see, his first score of the year, and that was an exceptional execution, and it was good to see him get the touchdown off the punt return.
That was our OG&E Power Play of the game. OG&E proud again to bring you the OG&E Greatest Cowboy Fan Search. Log on for your chance to win big at www.oge.com. OG&E Power at the speed of life. And I don't know that he could have taken any more heckling from his teammates if he had not gotten in right there. That's the first time he's found the end zone.
Well, he's done an exceptional job on the returns, and he was just almost a step away every time from breaking it. And it was good to see him give us a touchdown just before the half, 27-0. And, we felt like we were in control of that ball game.
Yeah, for all intents and purposes, you never look at it this way, but the way the first 2 quarters went, it's pretty much in the bag almost. But what's the conversation now at halftime? Maintain the focus, come out just as sharp.
Well, you said it, and just before we came out, it was good to hear our kids talk about 0-0. We need to come out and maintain our focus, just like you say, and get started again, and just to build on what we did the first half.
Total dominance statistically and time of possession. I mean, Baylor must have thought that this was kind of a one-sided, tilted board that they were just trying to go uphill the entire day.
Well, it was total dominance. I thought our defense did an exceptional job. I think holding to a low 86 yards total offense, and really that's never heard of it. And, Chris Massey gets back into the act. He's developed a knack for blocking kicks. So
he was mad he didn't get all of this one here.
He did a nice job of slipping. I like the way he gets his body in the correct position. What he did, though, he gave us a great field position to end up starting this second half drive. But that's 2 weeks in a row, and that's an exceptional job by Chris and the return team. And you see a nice throw by Tony, the Terance, Bryan, and back inside here to Jay for about 4 or 5 yards. We run a misdirection bubble play, we call it. This is Blackwood. See that speed he got here? going to the end zone, and he scores a touchdown.
He tried to slip over that or trip over that yard mark, just like Stiggs has done on occasion.
What we talked about was that grass was pretty thick.
It was, but not that thick. We'll get on him when he joins us later on the set.
But we come out, we put a quick score in. It's 34-0. For the most part, we really have control of the ball game. So we're really trying to run some time off the clock. You hear we end up trying to throw a hitch route. Tony does a good job of pulling it down and getting the first down. So he puts us back on track. We go back inside with, and I think this is Reggie White. He does a nice job on the draw play, and we're trying to just use the clock up here and run the ball. And Reggie is doing a good job. Our offensive line is doing a good job of blocking. And Reggie's running hard and keeping his feet moving, running over people, really kept that game under control. Defense played solid the second half, gave up one score, and it's good for a lot of people playing that ball game. So 34-14, we got number 5, which was important to us.
We showed that last drive in the fourth quarter, not the last drive, but a drive in the fourth quarter. That was almost a 7-minute drive. Took it from our own 8. I think it was like 14, 15 plays, and as you said, really got rid of a lot of time on that.
Yeah, and that's what we wanted to do, Tom, run some time off the clock and get that offensive line going. And, I thought Reggie did a good job. I thought the offensive line did a good job of coming off the ball.
I think overall you had to be very pleased with the way they went out and approached this game. Obviously, from the get-go, that's the way it was.
Well, I am. It meant a lot to us, regardless of what Baylor's record was. We just felt like we wanted to become a consistent football team on both sides of the ball, and it was good to see that approach by our football team.
Well, that was a good way to get even as far as the record is concerned. And speaking about getting it obvious, it was obvious from the get-go that Oklahoma State's only focus this past Saturday was beating Baylor. The Cowboys took it to the Bears from the opening kickoff. As you would imagine, the post-game mood was very upbeat. And here's another look on this week's 2-minute drill, brought to you as always by the American Residential Group.
Now let's celebrate, let's sing that song, seniors, team, good job. It's good. Ride, 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 ride on Cowboys, victory, Charles, you go, and we'll sing Oklahoma State.
We knew all week that they were kind of weak on the punt team, so we just wanted to get some speed guys up front just to beat them underneath, and hopefully somebody come through. And I've been lucky the past 2 weeks to come through clean.
And we knew going into the game that if we just come out and we get them in the hole early, that it would be hard for them to get out.
All week, Coach Miller talked about getting pressure on the quarterback. We seen that today. We got a lot of sacks and a lot of interceptions today. So how you think about your game today?
I feel good about my game. I rushed the pass, did what I had to do. Everybody else did their part too, so we all just put it in together.
Yeah, that was pretty good, having Wright interview Thomas.
You think he's a threat to take my post-game job?
He just may take your position.
That's what he told me.
Right.
He left. He said, you're not long for this job much longer.
But a lot of highlights, a lot of excitement, and it was a good win for us.
And you saw two of the guys who had a lot to do with that win at Baylor. You're going to meet them in our Get to Know the Cowboys segment. That is Bryan, Blackwood, and Juqua Thomas. That's all coming up next.
This Get to Know the Cowboys segment is brought to you by Ron Rakes and the team at Home National Bank, 324 South Duck in Stillwater.
Hello and welcome back to the Mr. Blackwood and Mr. Thomas show. I'm Brian Blackwood, the tight end for the OSU Cowboys, number 82. And to my left here is my co-host, Juqua Thomas.
Hi, I'm Mr. Thomas, and I'm defensive end for OSU Cowboys, number 94.
You know, this gets more dangerous every week. You give these guys an inch, and they take that whole yard when they want to get on the set here.
You know what's interesting about these two? Both of them, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, All-Americans. They played together at NEO. Had great senior years, and you can see just by this welcome back deal.
Little chemistry. You haven't done this before, have you?
No, I pretty much have to carry Juqua. I'm kind of the leader. He just kind of follows.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah.
I think it's the other way around.
I detected not necessarily agreement on this end right there. But we don't want to get into an argument here.
Well, I think, Tom, what you got is that you got one guy that's going to be an outstanding offensive player, and one guy that's going to be an outstanding defensive player. And the good thing about that is that they're both juniors.
And
that's
a couple of, you saw in the highlight package, these guys had big days at Baylor.
Yeah, they did. Now this guy, now tell us about that pass that you caught.
Oh, gee, here we go.
There was a big chunk hole at about the 10-yard line. I stepped in it, twisted my ankle, about fell down, but I regained my balance and got in the end zone.
Okay. His athleticism showed up on you.
Well, he was going so fast, I could see why you would have tripped in that choke hole. Hey, you had a big day. One series was all yours. It was about 3 times you either sacked him or pressured the quarterbacks. You were all over him. You remember that one?
Yeah, I remember that.
Tell us about that.
Yeah.
All I was thinking about is getting me a couple of sacks in the game, but you know, I was just rushing the passer, doing my thing.
That is your thing, though, as we talked about on the radio. They go this way, they go that way, quarterbacks, they're going to run right into you somewhere. You like to see that happen, don't you?
Right. They can't run from me.
That's what he was telling me before you ever got here.
Well, you know, they both did an outstanding job, and I know they're both looking forward to this upcoming ball game.
I know you are. Hey, this is one. Obviously, you guys having played in state, it's got to be something everybody looks forward to. They look forward to it here. They look forward to it in Norman. That's what makes it such a great game.
Yeah, I've been looking forward for 2 years ever since I went to Juqua. Couldn't wait to get up here and play in this game.
What about you?
I've been looking forward to it.
That motor be running, won't it?
Yeah.
That motor's always running with you two guys. Well, I really happy you rehearsed this intro. You did a great job, even though you kind of buffaloed us into thinking you weren't going to do it. We appreciate you guys coming on the show, and we're going to come back to wrap this all up after this final timeout.
This week's question from oakstate.com is presented by Southwestern Bell. If you have a question for Bob Simmons, log on to OSU's official athletic website at oakstate.com and participate in the Southwestern Bell Ask Coach Simmons contest.
Well, it's never too early to start talking about camps, is it?
Which camps are we going to talk about?
Well, which one do you want to talk about?
You know, when we talk about our football camps time, we really get started early. I think May 27th. Passing Jamboree.
Right.
And then we move to our team camps, which has really been good for us, and that starts on the 4th of June through the 7th. Then we have an individual camp, which starts the 11th through the 14th. So we will have 3 camps this summer.
That's pretty good. You remembered all those days without me having to help you.
The phone call does wonders.
Okay. While we have some time on the show, just basically an overview of recruiting. How is it going?
The receptions have been good. You know, I think our coaches have done a good job on the phones. Our home games, we've had good response from kids coming down, and obviously after we conclude our season here, we'll get more into it. But for the most part, I've talked to a lot of young men that are interested in this program.
Obviously, this will be a very interesting week. It's Oklahoma State, Oklahoma next Saturday.
Well, it is, and I think anytime you get into a rival game like Oklahoma State and Oklahoma, anything can happen. And I know our kids are excited about the ball game. They've got friends on that team that played against them and with them in high school and against them, and so that's getting them ready for this game. I don't think it'll be a difficult matter.
And it will be business as usual, despite the fact it's Thanksgiving break.
Yeah, it will be, and we'll do. You know, we'll spend Thanksgiving here, having a Thanksgiving dinner for the guys that stay over, and then we'll probably go just to maybe practice up there on Friday, and get ready for the game on Saturday.
Okay, we look forward to it. That's all the time we have for this week's show. We invite you back next week for Bob Simmons, our entire crew here at Educational Television Services. Tom Dirato. Goodbye, everybody.